The road at Houston, Pittsburgh drops to second in the AFC North. They're 10-6-0, while Baltimore's 11-5-0. Lamar Jackson broke the NFL career rushing record for quarterbacks. Baltimore's already wrapped up their third straight playoff berth. They need a win over Cleveland next week to win the division. The Steelers wrap things up with a home game against the Bengals. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
That's the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single-line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Smart is coming back. The days of just picking teams based on a coin toss are over. You need the latest stats, odds, and information. Make a plan. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid. Well, duh. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network. And now, back to Moneyline with Kevin Walsh and Donnie Rightside.
Look at that. Back to it. We're just live now, baby. It's time to get it started. The holiday break, it is here. Holiday cheer, it is here. Your boy DRS going to be joined by Kevin Walsh in just a few moments. It's Moneyline. It's the best hour of your day. It's officially underway. How did you feel about your Christmas day? Was it fantastic? Did you get all the toys and gifts that you wanted? Did you hit all your wagers that you wanted? Maybe you did. I didn't hit every one of them. Still a fun day yesterday to watch it play out as the NFL takeover of Christmas Day continues. You did have good NBA games yesterday, but I do want to ask the people this as well. Those questions always come up. Donnie, where's your allegiance to? What's your favorite sport? Well, obviously it's the NFL. Just about every single fan's favorite sport is the NFL because it's led by great ratings and people watch it, and football is synonymous over the holidays. But it used to be that the NBA Christmas Day was their day. Now, hear me out on this. I don't hate the NBA by any stretch. Quite frankly, once football season ends, the NBA is awesome to watch. The NBA is great to see it coming down the stretch, jockeying for playoff positioning, and the playoffs are fun to watch as well. The superstars are all out there. You get a night-to-night basis, 2 to 3 games a night in the playoffs, and away you go. Same thing with me for college basketball. I love college basketball. I just don't like college basketball at all before the new year starts. It just doesn't grab my attention. Like, if you are a professional sports league and you're going toe-to-toe with the NFL, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it completely wrong. And I've always said I've had changes that can be made in the NBA structure and college basketball structure, which would bring them more money. And it may sound like, well, you can't do that. You limit the gate. The NFL has 17 games per team and absolutely blast every league with the amount of money they can make. And I'm not saying the NBA has got to go down to 17 games in a season, but the NBA should not be starting their season before the new year. They just shouldn't. Once the regular season in football is over, start the NBA season. Start the college basketball season. Run the NBA. Forget about, hey, the final's going to be in late May, early June. Run the NBA all the way through the summer until football season starts again. And then don't waste your time in October, November, and December trying to compete with the NFL. It's not working, NBA. It's not. The ratings are completely down. And yesterday, you did have good games in the NBA. But in my household, probably like a lot. And also, you know what hurt the NBA too, to be honest? The fact that Netflix had that football game. You might be saying, like, that's crazy. Like, more people would be able to watch if it wasn't on Netflix. But just like myself and many people, like, I have, ADD per se when it comes to watching things on television. The minute it goes to commercial, I like to flip back and forth. The reason I bring this up is, let's just say, I don't know, ABC and ESPN had the football games yesterday. Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens, and Texans. I probably would watch a little bit of the NBA. because I would have flipped back and forth like, this game's kind of boring. Let me just check in to see what my Philadelphia 76ers are doing. And again, the Sixers are my team. They beat the Celtics yesterday. Saw it online, beat writers, hey, Sixers got a lead in the third quarter. Hey, I hope they win that game. Never even thought one time to turn on a rival game between my Sixers and the Celtics. Didn't even cross my mind. Could care less at this point. But as I said, if it was on regular cable TV, I would have. But Netflix, do you really want to get in and out of Netflix? I mean, honestly, like me, again, we'll change the channel on an Eagles game 75 times an Eagles game when there's a commercial break or something I just want to get to at that point. Really is. K-Dub's in here now. He's ready to go. Can you hear? Everything sound checks good back there? Yeah. We're talking about yesterday, right? So I didn't even recap the NFL games, which we're going to get to.
Okay.
Didn't recap the NBA games, didn't get to that. But I always see you know me. I like to make things better for the common man in sports. And we're just talking about NBA versus NFL now on Christmas Day. The NBA had a lot of good games yesterday. But I was just getting to the point, Kevin, by telling the people, I might have turned on to the NBA games a little bit if the game wasn't on Netflix for the NFL, because getting in and out of Netflix would take me minutes to get back, and it would just drive me nuts. And for me, I love to change the channel. I need the remote clicker in my hand every second, and I didn't change it one time from when I logged on at 12:30 to Netflix all the way till the complete end of the Ravens game. I didn't even change the channel one time.
So I saw people talking about that, saying like that's like kind of going to be a death nail. So just from a talking point, the fact of the matter is the Lakers-Warriors game is going to do so much better than every other NBA game that you're going to still get like LeBron and Steph run the league. Nobody else can step up, because that game was not only very good, but it ran clean, right?
Yeah.
Nuggets-Warriors or Nuggets-Suns was too late. Everything else was up against NFL. But let me just ask you this, because I'm just curious.
Yes. Sure.
You didn't turn Ravens-Texans off?
Not one time.
Why?
My TV in my living room, where all the family was, did not change one time.
No,
I
know you're not flipping, but that game
at the
was
end of the game.
What were you cheering on? Even
I saw Hutchinson had to get 25 plus yards. Yeah, at the end of that game. And again, I had a nice parlay was set up with Mixon. Make a man beat at the goal line. I mean, Mixon gets down to the one, then he can't get in, so that cost me too. So I was sort of watching, because the theory I had at the end of that game, which was pretty correct. Most people were probably saying like, why the hell do the Ravens have any starters in? And I was trying to say the reason they have even my family, why would they even be playing? Because they're not going to play any starters next week. Like, this is your final tune-up before the regular season is ending. They got walloped in that game. CJ Stroud's not going to play. Mixon's not going to play. And if they do, it's a big mistake. Like, hey, we got to get a drive in here for a field goal to feel good about the playoffs. No, that's why you saw Mixon and getting a 4-touchdown game. Like, oh, I got one more drive. But CJ Stroud was so bad in that game, it just, I couldn't even compete. That's why I was watching it. But again, Netflix, I just didn't want to turn it off and have to log back in. That's all it was. Yeah,
no, listen, we were hosting yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So we had the main floor with one television, and that was Netflix, because more people are interested in football. Downstairs, you've got everything going. Now, fourth quarter of Texans Ravens. Yeah, come on, cut it out. Like, I'm not watching. It's 31-2. Houston hasn't showed up at any point in the game.
Yeah.
And trust me, I am not naive as to the NBA numbers will be bad. The Netflix numbers will be useless, by the way, because they're going to say, 700 million turned on. No, nobody cares. Right.
Yeah.
But again, as far as what was the better product yesterday, it wasn't close. Those games were abysmal. And here's the thing, Donnie, we've worked a lot of, forget the battle that you and I have of NBA versus NFL. Okay. Cause the games yesterday were atrocious. The NFL bulldozing themselves into every single day of the week is not good. It's not. We have a game tonight. Meaningless. Absolutely terrible. Saturday, 3-game slate. For the most part, useless. And then the Sunday slate suffers for it. It's terrible. Again, it's oh man, look at the big bad NFL. We know the NFL is king, Donnie. But they are significantly watering down their own product. They just are.
But late in the season, I don't mind it. Honestly, I probably would have watched a little bit more NBA yesterday, but we probably would have had on a Christmas Story all day long, 6 straight times, to be honest, at this point. But it's just me from an NBA perspective, because I'm not an NBA hater, and I say this all the time. once football season's done, the NBA is so much fun to bet, so much fun to watch, and the playoffs are fantastic. I just like any sport that runs up against football. I always say to myself, I can make this so much better. Like I feel like the NBA, and let me just dip into the standings here just for a second. So we've had like the Cleveland Cavaliers have played 30 meaningless games to me. Like you played 30 games and it didn't have my attention one time. My Sixers who aren't having a great season, 11-17, Kevin. I've watched maybe 45 minutes total of their 28 games because it's just outside of it. But if you said, hey, the Super Bowl ends, I know it can never happen. Super Bowl ends, the Sixers start the very next day. I'm like, oh, man, basketball season, awesome stuff. I just don't like it at this point now.
But listen, the NFL does dominate. So can I just say this? Because you know how you talk about the NBA should chop games, but like we know that won't happen. What the NBA actually should do, start the season earlier. You run up against NFL already. So why are you starting in October and then having to jam games in? They should start in August.
I would, Kevin, I honestly would go February right through to August 31st. It would be so good. The summer with the NBA, awesome stuff. We'll be right back. It's Moneyline. Hot topics, baby.
We're the club you want to join, even though we'd have you as a member.
You'll like it here. We have munchies.
And the winning edge. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. The Chiefs beat the Steelers 29-10 Christmas Day. Kansas City improves to 15-1. The Steelers are 10-6. Patrick Mahomes threw 3 touchdown passes, 29 of 38, 320 yards. He connected with 3 different receivers, including Travis Kelce, who broke the Chiefs' record for touchdown receptions. It was his 77th scoring reception. That broke the record set by Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez. Coupled with Baltimore's 31-2 rout on the road at Houston, Pittsburgh drops to second in the AFC North. They're 10-6-0, while Baltimore's 11-5-0. Lamar Jackson broke the NFL career rushing record for quarterbacks. Baltimore has already wrapped up their 3rd straight playoff berth. They need a win over Cleveland next week to win the division. The Steelers wrap things up with a home game against the Bengals. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
That's the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single-line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
You've heard of smart bombs,
Smartphones, smart cars, smart watches, and smart glasses.
now you can add smart player.
Giving you sports gaming strategies and information 24/7.
It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Look at the new music, K-Dub. Gotta love it, huh? Look at it.
Yeah.
It's right into the fire right now. Now, we got a lot of topics to talk like. I mean, Russell Wilson battled his ass off yesterday. Just nobody was helping him out. But before we get to that, did you watch the Beyonce halftime show?
Yeah, like not like full attention, but I was aware it was on and everything.
Yeah. But by the way, like Netflix's presentation yesterday, I thought was fantastic. Okay. Whatever cameras they were using, they really hyped it up and said, you know what? We have unlimited funds. This is our first go around the NFL. Bring the best cameras, bring the best feeds, do the craziest things you can. I thought it worked out well because, Mariah Carey, who they probably had to pay millions of dollars to open up both of those with just hey, do a music video for us there. They have unlimited money. They probably spent a ton of money on Beyonce. The only thing I kept laughing at, though, Kevin, is I like halftime performances and I like halftime shows. And Beyonce's performance was very good visually for me.
Okay.
But I didn't hear anything like I've heard before. So I was like, I don't understand this. Like, give me Crazy in Love, back in the day. Like, is Jay-Z going to pop out? It's Christmas Day. Give me some of the hits from the early 2000s that a lot of people know her for. She came out, I guess, sang her country album. And again, with family and friends to watch, like, oh, this looks good, but we've never heard any of these songs before. Like Michael Jackson coming out, like, hey, we want to hear Billie Jean, Beat It. And he's just like, you know what? Let me rip off a couple of these new songs and get out of here. Like, I was kind of confused by that, to be honest.
I think that's valid because people just don't listen to the radio as much. So even if someone
you're right.
of her star power puts out music, excuse me, you're not guaranteed to hear it. I've not heard any of her new music. So I have not heard that. What honestly stunned me was how long it was. I mean, she was out there. I think they posted the full performance, over 12 and a half minutes. I mean, that is a very long performance ultimately that they went with there, which was a little surprising to me.
It's almost like the NFL was make us work. Like you're going to be able to cut corners. Like you need to go an extra 3 minutes at halftime because we're usually on a strict thing. You go ahead and do that. Like I really think they gave Netflix a lot of leeway to say, if we really make this work, from Netflix's side, hey, yeah, we'll be more than willing to give you a few $100 million a year for this.
Wait, so I was trying to figure this out last night with my brothers. Next year, it's Thursday, Christmas.
Correct.
Prime only, or how does that work? Like the NFL can tack on.
It's probably two
early
Netflix,
games?
one Prime at night. Yes, there's going to be 3 games if it's a Thursday. It'll be 3. They'll have the Thursday night game at 2 in the afternoon. Yes. So it'll go back to being
double Netflix early, and then Prime gets their usual game.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
It was where they really shoehorned in a Wednesday, like saying like they're going to do Tuesdays. So those are the hard ones. The Thursdays, the Fridays, and the Saturdays, they're going to load up more.
Like I don't know, man. Nobody wants it. It's not like the players are complaining.
Yes,
the games are terrible.
I need it.
No,
I need that football.
No, you don't though. Donnie, yes, you don't. Donnie, you don't. It's what Donnie, you don't. You just don't. You don't. It's not good. You're not getting good games.
Yeah, but it's only but they
Donnie,
that was
it's
the two
on
best
the
teams
TV.
lining up, thumped them. Like if you played Baltimore, Kansas City yesterday, you had a good game. So there you go. You just got to make the teams match up correct.
No, like Donnie, you thought. Hold on a second.
Yeah,
we have 3 guys on the desk that have been watching NFL all year. I'm not saying we're the sharpest minds on human history, but we all thought that the Dogs had a good chance to bark in the game to some degree. The games were atrocious. They were terrible.
You know what's funny? Like at my one pool, I have to pick 7 games a week. You know, I actually went Kansas City and Baltimore as my 2 top picks for the week. Like seeing that, like, oh, I did pick that. Look at that. Because again, on the desk, I'm like, I think Pittsburgh can hang around in a good shot. And Houston's probably going to give it their best before they get to the playoffs. Both got absolutely hammered. So let's get into the NFL games that were yesterday and, what actually happened. I'm here to say this now. There's been a shift for me with Kansas City, Kevin. Are we back to one of the better Kansas City teams now? Are we really, though? Like their defense, again, without their best player. And here's where I get to that. Like you look at Vic Fangio in Philadelphia, like a rebirth. It's like, why wouldn't he be a head coach even though he's old? Steve Spagnuolo just hanging out with Andy Reid for a decade and running monster defense after monster defense and winning all this and never even getting a sniff of being a head coach again. Like I look at scenarios like that and be like, this is why they're dominant. They have great players, yes, but maybe the best coaching staff head to toe in the NFL if you go special teams and all the way through. Like just on a week to week, like am I sitting up on the desk going, I think Najee Harris is going to have a good game. My God, how he got 70 yards rushing was hilarious and cashing that ticket. Fantastic stuff because they basically put him in to say, you guys were so bad this game. I'm just going to run this clock out, get my starter out there. And he picked up like 50 yards on the final drive. But the simple fact is Kansas City brings an elite defense that we don't talk about all that much. But every week, Kevin, it feels like they show up. And yesterday, going again from the week before with Marquise Brown, opening that offense up now. Xavier Worthy playing well. They got running backs that weren't even doing much yesterday. It doesn't matter. Patrick Mahomes is slinging footballs all over the place. They're going to be in the Super Bowl. Like, we'll be in New Orleans this year, Kevin. Kansas City's going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, Donnie. Maybe, right? Maybe. But here, them being the 1 seed, right, was kind of, to me, always going to happen. Like, that's why I was complaining on our shows about the Buffalo number. So Kansas City with Andy Reid, who doesn't lose off buys, is 1 win away at home off a bye from being back in the AFC title game, which will be in their building. So they'll have a great chance. But them beating the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have shown us once again they're the same fraud Steelers who are just taking up a playoff spot, Indiana SMU style, if you will, okay? It doesn't, like, we'll see what happens when they play Baltimore or Buffalo. That's what it comes down to. And they can win. I've never said Kansas City can't win. Because that would be foolish. That would be absolutely foolish. But no, I'm not going to change my tune because they beat up on the same Pittsburgh. Here's the thing, Donnie, and I'm not. Fields is not better than Russ, but Russ being better than Fields makes no difference. They are the same exact team. They're the same team they've been when it was Pickett, when it was Rudolph, when it was Fields, when it was Russ. They are the same damn team.
You know what the funny part about it is, here? They're going to win a playoff game. The Steelers are going to win a playoff game. They're going to match up against Houston. They're going to beat Houston.
They're absolutely not. No, they're not.
They're going to beat Houston.
No, they're not.
I will take them to beat Houston.
That's fine.
Houston,
they won't win that game.
I don't know what happened down there in Houston. I don't know if we're just playing solid teams. Something's got to change there down there. It's Nico Collins and nothing else. Is that all we're going to get the rest of the way out of Houston? Which, again, there'll be that Saturday early game. We'll see how they play the Pittsburgh Steelers to get that one out of the way. There's a lot more topics to talk about. It's Moneyline post Christmas Day. We'll be right back.
We never stop giving you sports gaming strategies and information 24 hours a day.
7 days a week. Business hours are for losers.
This is the Sports Grid Radio Network. The Sports Grid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
In 1919, the Yankees and Red Sox reach an agreement to trade for Babe Ruth.
Ruth lets go the fatal throw, and the Babe socks it into the bleachers for his first homer of the series.
The Red Sox received $125,000 from the Yankees, but the deal altered baseball history, and the fate of two franchises was forever intertwined. For Sports Grid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
Was the night before Christmas, and all through the smart house, not a circuit was stirring, not even a mouse. The children were nestled all snug in their beds. Visions of iPhones danced in their heads. Then arose such a clatter of sensors and lights. From the chimney sprang jolly old Saint Nick. He was chubby and plump, dressed in glowing LEDs from his head to his foot. It flashed and sputtered as he brushed off the soot. Suddenly, a bundle of toys and a motorized gizmo rolled out to a stop. I laughed when I saw this in spite of myself. Then a hatch popped open, and a robot arm went straight to its work, filling all the stockings. And laying a finger aside of his nose, giving a nod, his jetpack blazing up the chimney he rose. Away they flew, chased by a live streaming drone that rose from the thistle.
Happy Christmas to all and to all of you.
Follow me at Chico Palvo on Twitter and stay tuned to The Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
The Early Line.
When you're giving up on defense, Devon Achane, 17 for $120 and a touchdown, you're not going to be all that effective. This was just a calamity for the 49ers. Too many mistakes, too many penalties, and too many injuries on the season. Maybe the most disappointing team in football this year, probably the Niners, now sit at 6-9, and probably gets worse over the final 2 weeks.
It's The Early Line with Ben Stevens and Donnie Rightside. Weekdays, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. On the Sports Grid Radio Network.
There, Sporto.
We know you've been hurt in the past. Big stations with big promises lied to you, suckered you in.
We don't do that. We're the real deal.
You can take our information to the bank. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
At the break, having a conversation. Kevin's not making any sense out here in these streets. He's just not.
You want me to explain myself?
Yeah, okay. So here's what we're going to talk about, because, again, we have a lot of topics to get to, but we're talking about the NFL and how it pertains to some of these games coming down the stretch. Tonight, we have Seattle and Chicago. And entering into this game in the division, or should I say in the NFC, Seattle's 8-7. The Rams are 9-6.
Yeah.
So you're saying that if the Seattle game doesn't matter tonight, but it does.
It doesn't. I'll tell you why.
All right.
If Seattle wins tonight and the Rams win on Sunday, the Rams win the division. Because the tiebreakers will go all the way then down to strength of victory, which the Rams have already clinched.
Yeah.
So if they both win on Sunday, it makes no difference. Okay?
Correct.
Let's say the Seahawks lose tonight.
Saturday. They play Saturday night.
The Rams do?
Right.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if they both win, right? The division's over. The division is already done before Week 18.
Well,
Does that make sense?
Yes, but I'm asking this question, though. Seattle wins
Yes.
tonight, Rams lose.
The division is still on the line Week 18.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
If Seattle loses tonight and the Rams lose Saturday, the division is still on the line Week 18.
Yes.
The only way
so
the
you
division
have to win tonight, though.
No. The only way the division is on the line Week 18 is if the Rams lose Saturday. That is the only way it is.
Playoffs.
They're not. The Seahawks, I don't think, can be a wild card team.
Yeah, but the thought process of them losing tonight, just saying it doesn't matter because we hope the Rams lose. The Rams theoretically could lose, and then you win this game. Now you're in the driver's seat for the division and possibly still for the playoffs.
No. If
because the Buccaneers lose, they'll jump the Buccaneers, the Seattle Seahawks.
For what though? Are you talking about seeding?
No, because there's still you still look at the Commanders at 10-5 haven't clinched the spot yet. So this game does matter for Seattle.
No, because
you know what I mean?
Seattle can't catch them in conference record. If Washington loses out, they're not going to catch them for the conference record.
There's no way they sit starters tonight, Seattle. Or don't play this game out. There's no way.
Listen, probably not, but they should.
Yeah,
they should. Here's the thing. I went through this last night. It took me a while. I'm not telling you that it's I understand it's a little complicated, and I'm telling you this on the fly. What I am telling you is Seattle's chance to win the division is not impacted by the result tonight.
But I don't know. There's no with the other team not playing till Saturday. They have to win the game though. If they lose, their season is done. They have.
No, it's
to
not.
Win.
Okay, if they lose, all right. Let me just see if I can get that. If the Seahawks lose, right?
Yes.
And the Rams lose, right?
Yeah.
The division is on the line Week 18. However, if the Seahawks win and the Rams win, the division is over. Week 18 won't matter.
Yeah, there's no way they sit out tonight. Zero chance.
Okay. They should.
Zero chance. Zero.
Okay.
There's zero chance. And again, I don't like the game. I think stinks to begin with, but there's no way I'll be looking at prop bets and be they're not going to play their starter. No way.
I got you.
Young first time head coach. I've seen that play out millions of times. There's no way they're sitting this to just say we're just going to watch the Rams game Sunday night and see what happens.
I mean, I don't think they will either, but they should.
Which, again, is a fantastic game here on a Thursday night that we're going to be handicapping tonight on the desk. Get ready for that bad boy tonight. And by the way, somebody in the chat box goes, hey, how about the bowl games? I had no idea there was college football bowl games on tonight, but I just clicked on. We have 3 today, Kevin. Pittsburgh, Toledo, Rutgers, Kansas State, Arkansas State, Bowling Green. Good Lord, throw these games into the abyss. Holy moly.
Well, you know my little bowl thing I'm doing?
Yes.
I am refusing to bet the Rutgers game. I'm not spending my time capping that game. Oh, I got something for you, though. Hold on. This actually might be worth your time. The kid on Bowling Green is going for the record for receptions by a tight end in a single season. Needs 12.
Wow.
Props 9.5.
What? Oh.
He has 100 on the season. Bowling Green, Harold Fannin, DRS. Take a peek. Take a peek. Take a peek,
DRS. Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Maybe we're watching that game tonight on the desk as opposed to the NFL game with a 9 o'clock start. It's Moneyline post-Christmas. It's Donnie and Kevin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to your source of sports gaming strategies and information.
We call it the winning edge. It helps make the odds even.
This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. The Chiefs beat the Steelers 29-10 Christmas Day. Kansas City improves to 15-1. The Steelers are 10-6. Patrick Mahomes threw 3 touchdown passes, 29 of 38, 320 yards. He connected with 3 different receivers, including Travis Kelce, who broke the Chiefs' record for touchdown receptions. It was his 77th scoring reception. That broke the record set by Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez. Coupled with Baltimore's 31-2 rout on the road at Houston, Pittsburgh drops to second in the AFC North. They're 10-6-0, while Baltimore's 11-5-0. Lamar Jackson broke the NFL career rushing record for quarterbacks. Baltimore has already wrapped up their 3rd straight playoff berth. They need a win over Cleveland next week to win the division. The Steelers wrap things up with a home game against the Bengals.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. That's the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Be the master of your domain.
Get the Sports Grid mobile app so now you can get the winning edge while your wife is in a dressing room trying on stuff while you wait patiently on the uncomfortable chair. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
It's all spread out in the NFL this week. Games just about every night. Game tonight, 3 on Saturday. Slate on Sunday. Monday Night Football, Detroit and San Francisco. We're a couple weeks out. We were probably looking at that going, ooh, that's going to be an interesting one. San Francisco probably battling for the division at that point. They're out of it now. So, guys, we headed to IR fast and furious there with Detroit needing that victory. And then a Week 18 game, which sets up to be Minnesota and Detroit. But they got to get through the Green Bay Packers in that 1.5 line on Sunday. We'll get there. We'll get there at that point here. But the NBA card yesterday, K-Dub. Any action yesterday? Because I know you weren't happy with the Philadelphia 76ers knocking off the Boston Celtics yesterday for a Christmas Day surprise.
Why would I be upset about that? I actually think that the Sixers...
I thought you had like a Celtics bet to beat the Sixers like every game this year.
That's crazy. So I do. You're right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of those hard... Man, that's a hilarious... So just to give people context, I don't even remember the number. That's so good. I have a bet on the Celtics to sweep the season series with the Sixers. It was a big number. It's like, Boston will be big favorites in every game.
Yep.
And I was always upset because they held off that game since it was a Christmas game. Like, man, they could have been beaten up on like Kelly Oubre by himself. And Donnie's right. First game, full strength Sixers beat him in Boston. I forgot that. Here's what really upset me, Donnie.
Yes.
AD and Steph Curry to combine for 50 points. Was my best bet of the day. Steph scored 38.
AD got hurt, did he?
Yeah, they combined for 38. Got hurt in the first quarter, never came back in.
And they still won?
Ooh. Yeah, they did. They did.
Who was the hero yesterday for the Lakers then?
Reeves hit the game winner and had a triple-double. Yeah. LeBron had a 30-point double-double with 10 dimes. So they stepped up in a major way. Steph was excellent. In the game as well. You had a lot of close basketball yesterday. Listen, I know a lot of people, relatively speaking, didn't watch it. I know a lot of people like to tell everyone how much they're not watching the NBA. The NBA was great.
You know
yesterday.
Why most people were doing that yesterday, though? Nobody would have comments on it because we understood that the NFL is going to get more and people that watch the NBA will like it. Why do you think people are commenting on it today?
That they weren't watching the NBA?
Yeah, like why? Like I hit a retweet on it.
Because of the LeBron comment saying that this is our day. But again, like he's right. Like the NBA will still be synonymous with Christmas. The NFL is just another day they're on. Like it doesn't feel special at all. The NFL being on Christmas. It's just another day that of course the NFL is on. You cannot tell me in any way that it felt like, ooh, it's NFL on Christmas.
Which again, I probably would like it
It's
not
just
to be
NFL.
the NFL on Christmas because we got to work today. But outside of it, I
Yeah.
love it. Like I can't imagine coming home anymore on a holiday and not watching the NFL. Like I would have been bored out of my mind yesterday. Just give me the food. I'll walk the dogs. Maybe I'm in bed by 4:00 yesterday. But I actually like, because there were bets, we had content. I enjoyed the games just because I was betting and cheering things on to see how it goes. And if I would have hated the games, I certainly would have flipped on the NBA. But it did, like when I was growing up as a kid, like there's usually like one game on NBA. It's like they always put Jordan the Bulls on at like 7:30 on Christmas night, and it was fantastic. Oh my God, record-breaking numbers. Jordan's going to take on the Knicks on Christmas Day, and then they sort of said, okay, this is ours. But it is funny where you look at like the higher ups, like the NBA is like, this is such a big day for us. The NFL is like, no longer will you have this day. We are taking it from you. You better start playing on Boxing Day, which is today, December 26th. Make that your big day.
Yeah, but look, if I'm the NBA, I don't change anything.
No,
it is what it is. But to me, they shouldn't either. I'll just look. I'm telling you this: the NFL can do whatever they want. People are going to watch it in droves. It is harming the product, though. We have sat up there for every Monday and Thursday night game. More often than not, the game is atrocious. Again, we have these major conversations of what's wrong with the NBA. Are you guys watching these NFL games? Are you
People get mad at the NFL. People get mad at the NFL. We still watch it. You know, like we get mad at the NBA and don't watch it. But you know what? Here's what we need to do in the future, Kevin.
Okay.
Christmas Day, come to an agreement. Like the sports icons come like into the room. Let the college football playoff rip on Christmas Day, Kevin. What do you think? Let it rip. Give me 3 of them.
You know what actually I'm interested in? So actually, here's what's more interesting is how interested is the NFL in being bullies. So the NFL does not need to play on the Saturday that they played on this year, right? Like they made those teams play on Saturday so they would be available for them on Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Will the NFL still try to play on that Saturday because we are the NFL, we want to play every day of the week? Or will they leave the college football playoff alone next year on the opening round Saturday?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because the NFL does like to play games for a long time in December once college football is done. Now college football is back. And again, there's no spite. Like, it's like, we'll show you like college football or basketball. They just figure like this is a big time day that we can make a lot of money and have Netflix pay us $300 million to broadcast 2 football games. We'll do it every single year, which is what shows. It's like, we're going to try this out. If it didn't work, they never would have went back to Christmas Day. But the fact that they saw those numbers coming, like, this is our day from here on out. It doesn't matter what day it is. Same thing with Saturday. So, like, if we're going to make money and we have a chance to sell a package to a Netflix for that, they'll do it again.
But Donnie, like, I get what you're. I don't know. I don't say this to be rude, right? But like, Cap came on yesterday. He's like, "Hey guys, by the way, NFL's here to stay." Like, did anybody think the NFL was going to show up on Christmas and do bad numbers?
Maybe.
What planet are we in?
Mark Cuban would tell you that problem.
I imagine he wouldn't. I don't know. That doesn't seem like something Mark Cuban would want to be that wrong about. Like, of course the NFL on Christmas did incredible numbers. Like, of course they did. It's the NFL. And also, like, the NFL Christmas stuff kind of happened because was the first one the Friday that Kamara scored 6 touchdowns on, right?
I can't remember. Yeah.
Vikings, Saints.
Probably.
And then, because Donnie, then it's like, we have a Saturday, big numbers. Then they had a Sunday. What do you think? Big numbers. They had a Monday. Like, all right, we'll bang that out. Big numbers. And they went, wow, we got to do Christmas. Everybody loves it. And then they bulldoze their way onto a Wednesday and give us 2 god-awful games. And again,
but they didn't
give
us
that were supposed to be good.
Games.
Correct.
They just gave us 2 games that didn't work out.
Yes, which keeps happening because they made these teams play 3 games in 11 days.
Yeah, and by the way, on this
happening.
Too, I see like the players get upset about that, and Kevin, I laugh so hard because there's called collective bargaining, and the NFL will come to the table and go, you know what? For the sake of the game, we're not going to play any Thursday night games, and we're not going to play short week Christmases like this. And the players go, yes! And the NFL goes, you make $100 million in your contract, player A. We're going to need $10 million back on that. No, let's play Thursday. Like, again, for the fact that the players who get angry if they play 3 games in 11 days, they would never give their money back to have less football. They would never do that. So the players, hypocrites, owners, hypocrites, everybody's hypocrites. If you say players, we're going to pay you more money, they will play 7 days a week, Kevin, if they could.
Okay, first of all, not every NFL player is in the room during the conversations. Secondly, Donnie, I don't think there was a secondary collective meeting about, hey, how do you feel about ripping a Sunday, Saturday, Wednesday combination? There was no conversation about that happened.
But the conversation didn't even need to happen. Like if they said, all right, look, we're going to make it safer for you players. We're going to take away 15% of your paychecks and cut back the games. The players are like, no. Keep the 15%. I'll be ready.
But again, DRS, like they're not going to at the minute. They can still talk about how they feel, and again, it can be seen in the product. You had a 2.5 point.
I hate Thursday games.
Road favorite, and it was a
doubleheaders on Monday night. Yeah,
it was terrible. But again, this is what I'm talking. This is why I'm annoyed. Okay, is we keep going. Oh, man, NFL did it again. They gave us a big pile of
did it.
And it's thanks. No, it was garbage.
There were standing ovations in your boys' living room yesterday for the NFL product yesterday. Standing O's, people. Let's keep to the hot topics here. Thursday and football tonight, Saturday football this weekend. And yes, the NBA is a full slate tonight as well. Oh, it's happening right here on the Sports Grid Network.
Loser is kind of a mean-spirited slur.
But it doesn't have to stick.
Tell them to listen to Sports Grid and fix it.
No, thank you. Later.
This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. College football bowl action resumes today. 3 games on the schedule. In the Sports Bowl at Detroit, it's Toledo taking on Pittsburgh. K-State squares off with Rutgers at the Rate Bowl in Phoenix. Mobile, Alabama, the Ventures Bowl, Bowling Green against Arkansas State. Friday, the Armed Forces Bowl in Fort Worth, Navy against Oklahoma. Birmingham Bowl, Georgia Tech squares off with Vanderbilt. It'll be Arkansas against Texas Tech in Memphis at the Liberty Bowl. Number 21, Syracuse battles Washington State at the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. In Vegas, Texas A&M against USC at the Vegas Bowl. Then on Saturday, the Fenway Bowl in Boston at Fenway Park. North Carolina takes on UConn. Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium. Boston College against Nebraska. Albuquerque, the New Mexico Bowl. TCU faces Louisiana. Pop-Tarts Bowl in Orlando. Number 13, Miami against number 18, Iowa State. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
That's the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Hey, you've definitely had a busy month. Finding gifts, sending cards, hosting family. Well, now it's time to treat yourself at Macy's After Christmas Sale. Come and find great deals on something just for you. Like 25% off New Year's party looks from DKNY, Adriana Papel, and more. So enjoy the week and get yourself the gifts you really wanted before these limited time deals are over. At Macy's After Christmas Sale. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
What's better than 1 win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get 1 line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
If Sports Grid was a burrito, we'd be the one with steak and carnitas packed so full every bite made your cheeks poof out like Dizzy Gillespie, so the name stuck and now even your mother calls you Dizzy. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
We get thunder now on the updates. Kevin, did you know coming into the show today was just like, now back to Moneyline with Donnie and Kevin. Like it wasn't even an intro because I guess there's music in there that we weren't allowed to use anymore at this point. That's why the intros are changed right now. Yep.
Yeah,
strikes.
I didn't know that.
How many strikes can't lose it out here in these streets.
Fair enough.
NFL this weekend, Kevin, does start tonight. Seattle and Chicago. Games in Chicago. Meaningless game for Chicago. Maybe meaningless game here for Seattle at this point.
Maybe
Weather
I'm
conditions
wrong.
not bad, though. 40 degrees. Slight chance of rain, light winds there, so shouldn't really affect it. 3 games Saturday, which I'm not all that interested in those games per se, but certainly will be betting those. Sunday's card is kind of interesting to me. I don't think it's a bad slate overall because you have some games that should have some juice. You know
Yeah.
what?
Uh, I don't know. The theme of this show being, man, these NFL games look terrible.
Yeah.
Let's get excited. I don't know. It's
And
driving
I love
me
it though.
nuts.
Saturday football, 3 games. Like I'm watching all of those bad boys.
Let me
Mm-hmm.
ask you this. How invested are you in Cincinnati beating Denver? Or do you think it's meaningless because Denver has the Chiefs game now back pocket?
Yeah, you know what? Because again, there's no coach worth his salt that's going to say like Peyton. Can you imagine come out and be like, you know what? I just took the truth serum. I don't even know if I'm going to game plan for this weekend now because we're just going to roll out the helmets and beat the Chiefs and go into the playoffs. Because you can never. Can you imagine like if a head coach is like, you know what? We don't care about this game. Cincinnati thumps them. Then they come out and like Wentz goes 18 of 22 for like 272 scores and knocks out Denver. He's like, well, we put all our eggs in this game in a meaningless game and we lost the game where the other team wasn't playing. There's no way that'll happen. But we are human beings in a human element where Denver doesn't go into this game. And Bo Nix goes, if I don't win this, my season is over. That's no longer in his head anymore at that point.
No,
so there's something to be said about you are going to get a good effort out of the Broncos. I'm not going to say that. But this isn't one of those where I talk about, right, Kevin, the quarterback's got a 3rd and 11. I think I can run and make it 12, but I'm going to have to dive into 3 linebackers. Like, they're not doing that in that game Saturday. No way.
I'll tell you what'll stink, though, is if Denver has this big collapse and it puts the Colts in the playoffs. I mean, I'm just saying like that, like all that, and then like to still not get Cincinnati in there. You know what I mean?
Which is a shame because this is like the college football playoff talk that we have, which sometimes you just get more excited about brand names being in it, which people are, I'd rather have SMU in Indiana other than Alabama and Miami. Stop it. Like just the buildup is much more fun to talk about with the pedigree. And if you're telling me the 8th seed pulls up and it's Joe Burrow out there with, blonde hair dyed going like, I'm about to sling it for 450 today. Come get me. Like, that's fun. The Denver Broncos in the playoffs, that ain't fun, man. And
Not really.
That's not fun. Yeah.
No, they're going to be catching like 9.5 from Buffalo in a 2-7.
Yes, you need Cincinnati to roll in there with that stink defense with Burrow going like, I don't care. I got 2 weapons at wide out. We'll knock you off in your cold weather Buffalo again, and we'll do it to you.
It would be something. I hope we get there. It's going to be crazy if all these teams win out and then we just still get Denver beating KC. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the line's going to be. Denver's home. I think they might lay 7.
And that final, yes, no. You know what? Do we have? I don't think we have look-ahead lines for that. I'm just looking at my odds board. I don't see that, but I think I pinned it at like 6.5. I think in that game. But again, it's so like one team has to win, one team doesn't care. Like it's supposed to be 24-3 in that game. It really is.
Yeah,
it is.
No, it is.
But you do have like Andy, like that sort of like our stars aren't going to play because you can't bench everybody in the NFL. Like you'll take your 2 tackles out, maybe your center, your 2 starting linebackers, your 2 defensive ends, your 2 corners. But still, it's like, Carson, I'm going to put a game plan we're going to have fun with here because whether or not you snap your leg doesn't mean anything to our Super Bowl chances, essentially. Let's get after it. Like, they're going to do that, though.
I'm telling you, though, what's so crazy about this week is how badly the NFL needs certain results to where Week 18 is not meaningless.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, Donnie, if Minnesota loses to Green Bay, which is totally possible,
correct,
the Lions-Vikings game becomes completely irrelevant.
Yes, I believe it does. Yes, correct.
Like,
doesn't mean anything. Which, no, you're right about the NFL thinks correctly in saying we want to have the last 2 games matter. Which, as you remember in the past, are like we're having way too many games where like the Eagles would play, let's just say the Chargers in Week 18, but they said you're going to play like divisions, you're going to play those games, and they wipe half of them out. Like the Eagles Giants hasn't been lately, but it's usually a big rivalry. They keep stacking them in Week 18 where the game means absolutely nothing. Where if you just put it in Week 8 and 11, they're big ball games where the hate is on. It's because the NFL does bite itself for that one chance that you will get the number 1 seed on the line, which it looks like it possibly have happened, saying, ooh, Minnesota, Detroit, shake hands, high fives, we got this right. But for everyone they try to hit a home run with, they really blow away the meaningful games in the season to save them for late, and they never matter. It's funny that it plays out that way.
I'm telling you, it's incredible. Like, if both of those teams win, look, for all my slander of the NFL, Vikings, Lions, winners the 1 seed, losers the 5 seed.
Crazy.
I mean, you can't get better than that.
No,
you
can't.
cannot get better than that.
Now, we don't play. So what would that be? The Sunday night football game then?
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
What a
100%. Yeah, you're talking about. I mean, remember last year's Sunday Nighter, by the way? Buffalo wins, they get to the 2 seed, they lose, they would have been out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like
right.
for the division, I mean, listen, when that Sunday look, I don't like the
Are we
NFL
set up for the worst week 18 ever, though? Are we set up for that?
It's on the board. It's on the board.
Let's just say I'm saying even if you have that, winner gets 1 seed, loser gets 5, which is a great game to watch. That doesn't even salvage the day, though.
No, it doesn't.
Because usually you have 7 or 8 games with meaningful, we're moving up and down, or we're in or out of the playoffs. I'm just going over like some of the teams I'm looking at, and it almost feels to me like there's scenarios, Kevin, where not a single game is going to mean anything, except like Denver. You know what I mean?
Except for but here's
Denver
the thing,
playing
Donnie,
a
right?
backup team. Yeah,
Donnie, let's say Denver upsets Cincinnati. You know what that does? Kills 4 games right away. Cincinnati, Miami, Indy, Denver, boom, all gone. We're talking about Rams, Seahawks. Again, Rams win Saturday. Done. Okay. You've got the Eagles, if they beat the Cowboys, boom, 2 seed, done. Donnie, the whole thing's going to be the NFC South saving grace.
That's going to be wild. Yeah, Philadelphia and the Giants. The Eagles trying to win the division last game of the year again. Stop the madness, Eagles. Wake up! It's Moneyline. We'll be right back.
It's a choice.
Roll the dice
or listen to us. Luck is finding a good parking spot. Strategy is getting the winning edge. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network. The new Sports Grid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts. In-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more. All in one place. And of course, on the Sports Grid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime. On the go, wherever you are. Download the Sports Grid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid. Sports Grid Radio presents Gridiron Greats.
Running back Walter Payton set the then NFL rushing title in 1984, passing Jim Brown. Sweetness was a rare combination of power, speed, and agility. In 1999, Payton lost his life at the age of 45. Former teammate Dan Jiggins.
He was, at all stops along the way, the most ferocious competitor that I've ever seen.
For Sports Grid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Grady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Moneyline.
This is what home field advantage is for. Freezing cold temperatures in front of your own fans against a team that's not used to playing in freezing cold temperatures. We've talked about the SEC wanting to see them play in northern environments for 50 years, but they just don't do it. It was great to see it because, yes, it is real. Southern kids going to play at a northern school and get hammered here. Same thing with SMU.
Catch Moneyline with Donnie Rightside and Kevin Walsh. Weekdays, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific. On the Sports Grid Radio Network.
You're listening to the voice of authority.
Sports gaming strategies and information on daily sporting events.
In other words,
information you can take to the bank. We are your trusted source for gaming, odds, and more. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.
By the way, I love December 26th, Kevin. We host, I go out for Christmas night, or Christmas Eve, usually go to my mom's house. Now, it's crazy for me because tons of food there. I don't eat one thing, nothing, because, again, I fast. But yesterday we hosted, which we've done on Christmas Day for the past couple of years in our new house. And I'm talking about tons and tons and tons of food, like cannolis, and desserts, and pies, meatball, sausage, ziti, lasagna. It's all up there with tons of it left in the fridge. I love the day after holidays because I don't have to go to Chipotle. Which, granted, I love going to Chipotle. I love eating pizza. But right when we end this show, when my window is open, Kevin, I'm just coconut custard pie. I'll have some apple pie. We have cannoli, so I'll certainly have a cannoli. But then I am going to have like smorgasbord. I might have a meatball sandwich, sausage sandwich, and maybe a little bit of ziti on the side. Like I'm going to crush it. Like your house, you hosted first time here. Like are we chock full of like? I'm just going to open that fridge and be like, this is just tremendous. It's tremendous.
Yeah, no, it's insane. We just sent my parents and brothers back with as much as we could, and they're still
correct.
You have the tray of chicken parm, eggplant rollatini, chicken franchise, meatballs, baked ziti. I don't know if I'm missing anything else food wise, and then the dessert was outrageous. I think what kind of happened was too is with it being the first year that we were ever able to host, right? So we were going step up style, right? But then I also think like the parents and families were coming in like, we got to help out. They don't know what they're doing, right? All respectfully. So they come in still stepping up, and you look at the table and you're like, whoa, what is like? There's 3 cakes, a pie, 14 batches of cookies, and you're like, I can't even keep my head on straight. You know what we did too?
What?
We took a drive down on Christmas Eve to the Amish market.
And
good move. We got some of the
get down there.
We got a peanut butter pie. We got a dozen donuts. My brothers go wild for the donuts. The Boston creams.
Love donuts.
I got 2 things of ice cream. Those didn't even get opened. So we're
Amish
now loaded
cream.
ice cream. Yeah.
Now, what's that address of the Amish market around where you live? What is that address?
No, we took the drive. I know you're trying to locate.
Where?
Me.
How far from your house did you go, though?
About an hour.
Where is this place? Really?
Down to Pennsylvania.
What town?
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah, probably where you go, I imagine.
No. What town? It's be more than an hour to get to Lancaster.
No, it's not. It's
Where
not
did you go? Yeah, what town did you go to?
Hold on, I'll text. Let me send the text.
You drove an hour to the Amish market, it was in PA?
Yeah.
All right.
You know what's funny is I think we have some folks still here, like they're watching upstairs, so they might start screaming down the answer when it catches up. But we took the drive. It was snowing and everything, but I tell you, it wasn't packed, which was nice. I didn't know if it would be packed.
Yeah.
There.
By the way, Amish, fantastic. Like we always make the pilgrimage out to Lancaster, Hershey Park's out there, as well as we used to go to Dutch Wonderland, which is for the smaller kids, which my kid isn't small anymore. But love it. When you say Amish to me and baking products, you just slam dunk home runs all over the place.
Yeah,
that's interesting though. So because I figured there's like an Amish market around you just went to there, but no, you actually made a drive there.
Oh no, we made the trip because we've heard good things. We had a cannoli cake, a red velvet cake.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So
you got to have the contrast. Like I do like a nice cake. Velvet, yes, absolutely. I'm in with that.
The lobster tails. We had the lobster tails brought in from Queens.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I thought we were going the other way with that. I was like, whoa, I think you're getting fancy over there. Real lobster tails out there spending some cash.
No.
Seafood. Yeah. I was like, whoa. I was like, you shouldn't have. That might be one of me like, well, hold on, Donnie's at the door. He said, yeah, he is. Heard lobster tails on the tail. No, I get your point there. Yeah, I love everything about
the Columbus Farmers Market. Is where we went.
Yeah, that's New Jersey, right? That's right near me.
Oh, that's still.
Is
it?
Yeah. Yep. I would probably say from me, Kevin, 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes tops. That's it from me, Columbus Market.
But further, you would say, like, do you think from where I'm coming from, or
further from what to where?
From where I am. Here's the thing: you mess around, but you do have access to all of my information.
I do. Yeah, I do. We could put that. We could get diagrams right now of where you're at in your house. I think at this point, like, hey, where's Kevin broadcasting from right now? Let's see this room right here. That's it, right there.
It was the price.
Yeah, Columbus. To pay. That's pretty good. Yes, that's New Jersey. That's Burlington, Canada. You came down to. So I like that.
Yeah.
Nice. It's good work.
Yeah, it was great. Fantastic.
There you go. Gonna end today's show. Tomorrow, Football Friday. Tonight, the boys will be live in the studio, getting ready for the most meaningful game of the weekend: Seattle and Chicago. Ready, rested, you know the deal. Donnie Wrightside here. It's Kevin Walsh. Thank you for tuning in for yet another edition. Chris behind the wheels of steel. The Football Friday. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in and win some bets today. College Bowl, NBA, NFL. Get after it.
Everywhere. You can get Sports Grid on the radio, TV, the internet.
We got your number, Sporto.
That shirt doesn't match. This is the Sports Grid Radio Network.